Hello lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we'll be learning how to make this beautiful pencil skirt with side ruffles. If this looks like what you would love to learn, keep on watching and do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you're yet to do so. Turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video so that you'll be the first to know. Without further ado, let's get into the video. If this looks like what you would love to make for yourself or for a client. For this tutorial, I made use of a chiffon fabric. You can make use of any fabric of your choice, so please ignore the elastic. This elastic is not for this particular dress, okay? So ignore the elastic. All you need is your fabric, the lining it, and then your zipper and your thread. So I have a starting line, and this is the back piece. That's the zipper allowance. So I'll be drafting on the lining piece because it will be more visible than me drafting on the actual fabric. So on this starting line, I'll just mark my hip line of 9 inches. Okay, so that starting line will automatically be our waistline. So I just marked my hip line, and then from the hip line I marked the length of the skirt. So my lining piece will be shorter than the main fabric itself. Okay, so I'll just mark the length of the lining piece rather. Okay, so this lining piece will be shorter than my actual fabric. You understand better, okay, when I cut it out. So on this particular line here, that is the waistline, I'll divide my waist circumference by 4, and then I'll mark it. I'll now mark 1 inches stitching allowance. Okay, so I'm not using a dart for this skirt. So I'll now connect the lines together just like this. Okay, so I'll measure what I have on my hip line. This is the easiest way you can actually cut out a skirt, and then I'll place it on the length of the skirt, and then I'll just connect it all the way down this way. After that, the next thing I'll be doing is on this front piece, that is the front skirt, okay, because I'm cutting both the front and the back together. So on this front I came down by ½ inch. Okay, just come down by half of an inch, and then connect it to this line just like this. Okay, so from the center front, come down by half of an inch and connect it this way slantedly just on the front piece. This is to get rid of any baldness at the front area when you are fixing your band. Okay, so you don't have to do this, but it's advisable you do it. Okay, especially when you are working with some kinds of fabric. So I'll go ahead now and cut this out. I'll first of all cut out the ½ inch I just came down. Okay, so that was what I did, and then I went ahead to start trimming out every other part of the skirt. So I also trimmed out the lining as well, the down part, and then I splitted the back into 2 just like this. So now we'll use this to cut on the fabric. So now this is the fabric, this is the back piece. Can you see? So the actual fabric is 2 inches longer than the lining piece. Okay, this is because when I stitch it with the lining piece, just watch what I'll do. I really don't know how to explain this part, but I'm making use of a full lining. Okay, so I'm lining the skirt in a full way, and I want that extra 2 inches I added for the skirt, it will be inside. Just watch how I'll join it. So I'll just place it right side facing right side like this. This is one part of the back piece, and I'll hold the top part. I'm not stitching the top parts yet. So what I'll do is to just stitch the down part of the skirt first. So I'll stitch this part using half inch, and then after stitching I'll stitch the side, the two sides, and then I'll bring it out from the top part, that is from the front part where I will not be stitching. Okay, and I'll repeat the same thing for the for the front piece as well. Okay, so this is the front piece, and I'll just place it right side facing, and I'll just join it like this, stitch the down part and also the side. So this is it after I was done. So you can see the 2 inches is now inside. Do you understand now? Okay, so whenever you stitch it, you might have excess lining at the top part this way. So all you need to do is to trim it off. Okay, so that was what I just did, and this is what I have for the back piece as well. So what I'll do now is to place the right back piece right side facing after trimming off the excess lining. So I'm going to place it right side facing like this, and then we'll be marking where we'll be inserting our zipper and as well our slit area. So after arranging it, the next thing you'll be doing is to mark where you want to, or how long you want to insert your zipper. So I'll just place it like this. So, and I marked where I want my zipper to stop. So my zipper will stop there, and then I just came marked 8 inches upwards like this. So that will be my slit area. So I'll just stitch in between these two lines that I already have. So I'll just take out the zipper allowance that I added when I was drafting. After taking it out, I'll just stitch on that part, just on this part. Okay, so I'll just stitch from here to this other part, and that will be my slit, and that will be the zipper. I've done that, and this is what it is looking like after I was done. So now you place it right side facing right side, and you take your body measurement. Okay, so you ensure that they are aligning. Okay, so after doing that, you go ahead and mark your body measurement from the waist down to the bottom of the skirt. Okay, so after marking that, I'll just go ahead and stitch on it. So I won't stitch it full. Okay, this particular part I'll just stitch it and stop somewhere, while on this other side I'll stitch it all the way from the beginning down to the ending. So you leave one side of this part half stitched. I hope you understand. So I'll show you. You can see what I have. So I left that side opened, okay, while I stitched the other one completely. So this is the ruffle I'll use. This is 4.5 yards of fabric. So this is what I will use as my ruffles. Okay, so you need something long. The longer it is, the fuller your ruffles. Okay, and the length I have here is 10 inches after folding. Okay, but before folding it was 12 inches. So now when you cut it out like this, what you need to do is just to fold one side, and then you run a gathered stitch on another side. So now I have folded this side. You can see what I have, and folded the other side, the down part as well, and I ran a gathered stitch around this side. So what I'll do now is to go ahead and gather this. Okay, so I'll take my time, and you have to be careful so that you don't cut your thread when gathering it. So I'll go ahead now and gather this. So the longer your ruffles, it can even cover your pencil skirt if you want to. That is, if you have enough fabric and you want your ruffles to be long. It's just a choice, it's a matter of choice. Okay, so this is what I have for mine. So I will just carefully gather this. After gathering it, I am going to keep it aside, and I'll bring back the skirt. So I am done. I'll just keep this aside and I'll bring the skirt, and this is the skirt. So what I'll do now is to place the skirt like this. So what I'll do is from this waistline, I'll come down by 1 inch. This is because I'm attaching a band to the skirt, and I did not minus my band from the skirt. Okay, so bear that in mind. So I just came down by 1 inch, and then after that, on this part 1 inch, and then on this other part I'll go up by, you can do 4 inches, by made use of 5 inches. So I went up by 5 inches, and I'll just connect it. I'll just draw a line from here to that 5 inches that I have. Okay, so I know the chalk is not visible enough. Okay, it is because of the nature of the fabric, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So just go ahead and just connect it together. Okay, and then I'll measure what I have at this middle part, and then I'll replace it here at the back, just so that they align together. After doing that, I'll check where I have that markings at the top part here, and then I'll replace it, and then I'll repeat the same thing for this other bottom part, and then I'll mark it, and then I'll join the lines together as well. So just go ahead and recreate yours. You just have to be creative, okay? And that's just basically it. So after doing that, I will measure what I have, the distance I have from here down to the other back side as well. Okay, so after measuring it like this, I'm going to make sure that your ruffles is the same thing with your measurements. Okay, I have measured mine and it is the same, so I have adjusted it and made sure that it was the same. So now what I'll do is to place the ruffles right side facing right side like this. You can see how I'm placing it, guys. Okay, so you don't make a mistake. So when you place it like this, I will be following the lines that I drew earlier on. That's the line to serve me as a guide, and then I'm going to stitch it all the way down. So after stitching it, you realize that the ruffles will just fall on its own. So I'll turn it to the back and I'll continue fixing it just like this, okay, until I get to the end. So that's basically what I will be doing. So after doing it, this is what I have. You can see my ruffles. Okay, my ruffles is not long enough, I know. Okay, I don't have much fabric like that. So for the slits we opened earlier on, all you need to do is to place it together like this and just stitch it down. Okay, so that's just it for this part. And then after doing that, I'll go ahead and fix my band. And to fix the band, you have to measure the waist circumference of this skirt. So that's what I'll be doing now. You measure from here down to the other side of your skirt. So this video is a detailed video. Okay, so now what you need to do is the length of my belt is longer than my waist circumference. Okay, this is because I want it to be excess, so that I'll trim out the excess later on. And then the width was 3 inches. Okay, so I'll fold it into two like this. Can you see? I'll just fold it into two like this, and then I'll just place it on my skirt like this, and then I'll stitch on it. I use this method because I will be overlocking the skirt side, the waist area, okay, later when I'm done. So also I use this method of fixing a belt. There are other methods you can do for what you can go for what works for you. So what I'll do now is to stitch it all the way down. Okay, so this is it. I'm done stitching it, and this is it for the skirt. Look at how neat it is looking like. I also fixed my zipper, and that's basically it for the making of the skirt. It is so simple. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.